Mr. Schweikert is recognized for 60 minutes as the designee of the Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And for everyone's sanity, I hope not to go 60 minutes. I might go 40. Mr. Speaker, first, the good news. So if anyone else is a geek out there, there's this app put out by the Atlanta Fed, so the Atlanta Federal Reserve. And what they do is they do certain samples and trying to constantly estimate what the gross national product, so GDP, will actually be. And a little while ago, they actually updated it saying the U.S. economy looks like it's running at 3.4%. That's remarkable. If you stop and think about it, this is absolutely, think with all the headwinds and all the things over tariffs and all these other, the economy actually is surprisingly healthy. So, Mr. Speaker, one of the reasons I'm up here today, and like every other week, is then saying, okay, our fiscal year ends in a couple weeks, and our best estimate is this fiscal year we will have borrowed 2.4, maybe 2.5. We have one model in our office, $2.5 trillion. That's like $72,000 every second of every day we're borrowing. So think of a world where you're borrowing $70,000 a second. Yet the economy is actually fairly decent. What's going on? Is it Republican? Is it Democrat? It turns out it's the very thing we hate to talk about. It's the cost of interest, cost of health care. And that health care is primarily driven because we're unwillingness, and look, Mr. Speaker, you're a doctor, if I remember, we're unwillingness to have the honest conversation of how we deliver, where we can revolutionize the cost, where we can adopt technology, because we're in the incumbent protection business. We protect incumbent bureaucracies and incumbent business models. But if we don't take this serious, you think you can have a country that's borrowing $70,000, $72,000 every second, and you can keep that going? Remember, once again, I'm going to try to show versions of this. In 7 years, the Medicare Trust Fund is empty. In 2032, 7 years, halfway through that year, the Medicare Trust Fund is empty. In 2033, the first full year, our best estimate is that's about $140 billion shortfall. Mr. Speaker, in 7 years, the Social Security Trust Fund is empty. Meaning in 2033, if you're going to cover the Medicare and Social Security, you're approaching almost $600 billion. How many of us get behind these microphones and actually talk about things that are truly terrifying? We're really going to avoid dealing with our actual jobs. Are we going to allow in 7 years the doubling of senior poverty in America? At the same time, we're bankrupting much of the medical system. 7 years, grandma gets a 24% cut in her check. And our model says that will double the poverty of seniors. Yet, often the solution we get is, well, we'll just raise taxes. Okay, so the first year of the shortfall, it's look, I'm rounding up a bit, $600 billion. That's really, you really think you're going to do a $600 billion tax hike? And here becomes my battle. I've tried for years and years to say, we need to do a fiscal commission. The fact of the matter is we have the same number of 18-year-olds as we had 20 years ago, but we have double the number of Americans, our brothers and sisters, who are now 65 and up. We went 20 years ago, 35 million Americans. Now we're at 70 million Americans are 65 and up. And I think we have another 10, 15 million that will be 65 and up in the next few years. And we're incapable of telling the truth. How many of us want to get up in front of our voters back home or put into our newsletter saying, we have a demographic financing crisis? Are we going to do all the things necessary to skyrocket productivity? Because wages, elementary school economics. Do you remember your high school economics class? Wages go up by inflation, but that doesn't mean you get anything. You're just treading water. Our wages go up by productivity. Are we going to do the things that are necessary for productivity? And it means Democrats and Republicans need to stop doing things like, you can't automate ports. You can't automate this. We don't want to allow that technology. There's a way to make this not be dystopian. And Mr. Speaker, I am so tired coming behind this microphone, and I can't imagine the poor staff here has to be just exhausted, but I'm trying not to speak like a machine gun anymore. I'm trying to slow down. And over and over and over, and every time I come up, the numbers are a little bit worse. And what's frustrating is the economy is actually doing fairly well, but the scale of the debt, because we keep spending and spending and spending. So let's actually do some of the charts to try to see if I can get this to sink in. Next year, for every dollar of tax collection, we're going to spend $1.43. Let's do that again. For every dollar of tax collection, next year, starting in a couple weeks, October 1st, we start the new fiscal year, so this is for the 2026 fiscal year, we're going to spend $1.43. How long is that sustainable? And for everyone going in your head, oh, we'll just raise taxes. Let's do this again. And in the Wayback Machine, like in the beginning of the year, I think I did entire presentations on Democrat tax proposals and what we've talked about in just cuts as the Republican side. Our best estimate is this fiscal year that we're finishing in the next couple of weeks, we're going to borrow 7.3% of the entire economy. So our borrowing will equal 7.3% of the economy. Every tax hike that we have scored that the Democrats have proposed, capital gains, income tax, corporate taxes, the whole litany, when you do the economic adjustments, comes in at 1.5%, maybe 1.6%, but math is easier, 1.5% of the economy. That's what we get for all the tax hikes. For those of us on the Republican side, when we walk through, we can cut this, we can cut this, we can cut this. It's coming in about 1% of the economy. Anyone see the math problem? I got 2.5%, and that's all you've ever heard behind these microphones, but we're borrowing 7.3% of the economy this year. And how many idiots like me will get up behind these microphones and tell you the truth? Next year, every dollar of tax collections, we're going to spend $1.43. Let's say you're the most liberal member here. Do you have any understanding when this hits the wall, the devastation, the crushing of poor people? How about if you're the most libertarian or free market? Do you understand the crushing of the economic system that has produced so much prosperity that will happen when we're in crisis mode? Let's not let it happen. So let's actually walk through, because this is actually one of my things. We're actually borrowing a little over this. We borrow about $6.5 billion a day. So I always love the debates here. We're going to save $100 million. Great. We borrow about $260, $270 million an hour. So $250 billion an hour. And we'll have debates here that go on sometimes for an hour to save functionally minute, half a minute. We've had one where it was like 15 seconds of borrowing. And in 9 years, we're over $10 billion. My math is closer to $10.5 billion a day is just the structural borrowing. And one of the deceiving things is, over the next 10 years, we functionally spend $70 trillion. And you'll get someone say, well, you guys voted for this. Well, you guys wanted to tax this. And you actually start to help them understand, saying, we're talking fractions of our exposure. And I accept you don't need to be an accounting major or math major to be a member of Congress. But so we make some very pretty charts. For anyone that actually gives a darn about what's going on, every single month, the Joint Economic Committee Republicans, we publish a monthly fiscal update. And we've tried to make it as simple as possible to understand, page after page, to show you what the hell's really going on. Because one of the things that is incredibly frustrating is we live in a world where so much of what you're going to find on the internet right now isn't true. Let me prove it. So here's an article I was very disturbed to find out. Complex infection keeps the Pope in hospital. This is Newsweek from a couple days ago. Apparently the Pope is in the hospital. This is actually a story that was posted September 8th. Except the small problem is, this Pope has been dead for months. Welcome to the quality of what we call news anymore. And this is Newsweek. They just let their AI generate a story, fill it up. There's no human that bothered to look at it. And yet you and I have to help our voters, our constituents call us and say, is this true? And you can't find the story, they send it to you and go, well, that doesn't make any sense. That's it's someone that hit a computer button. But what also happens when we actually see stories like OMB says Trump economic agenda will cut the deficit in half. And I'm trying to find the policies, and you start to go over it, and many of these stories are actually, someone was giving a speech, and so the AI wrote a story. And it's not actually what was said. And my frustration with this is I have members here right now who say, David, we're going to take in $300 billion in tariff receipts, customs duties if you want to be accurate. Next year, we're fine. Okay. Next year, we're borrowing about 270, 280, we will borrow about $2.5 trillion in the 2026 year. So $300 billion is very, very helpful, but you're still borrowing $2.2 trillion. And we haven't actually done all the economic effects of, does that actually change purchasing behavior? We have some great stories today on the Bloomberg terminal of companies that look like they've been actually undervaluing when their customs duties, meaning they're lying to the customs service and we're taking in less receipts than we should. The scale of what's going on is just intensely frustrating. So let's actually start also knock down one of the urban folk legends. It's defense spending. How often do we go home and I'll get a liberal person, if you would just cut defense, we would be fine. Okay, here's your problem. Healthcare is about 28% of our spending. Social Security is 22% of our spending. This is 2025 fiscal date. Net interest is 14% of our spending. If you do all the other outlays, it's 14%. Income security, that's actually, it is what it is, 10%. National defense, 12%. Turns out national defense is now number 5. The thing is actually in the Constitution. It's actually number 5 in the spending stack. Your government is functionally an insurance company with an army. You laugh, you know you're going to quote that later. So let's actually sort of take a look. This is net receipts by category, 2024 compared to 2025. Hopefully this will make sense, and I'm going to put this chart up on our website later because I know it's really hard to see. But if you actually take a look at what's happening, how do we finance this government? It's mostly individual income taxes. Now, for someone that says, well, it should be corporate. Remember, in the late 1980s, early 1990s, all across the country, we're moving to LLCs, professional partnerships, pass-through entities. So much of what you would have seen back in the early 1980s, 70s, 60s as corporate now passes through. So some of it was a corporate structure. So you always have to be careful if you're trying to say, well, why are corporate taxes down so much? It's now because it flows through on the individual line. So just trying to make that point. But you take a look at this. Here's Social Security and retirement taxes. Well, that's FICA. That's actually you're getting, and that's like 1.7 trillion last year. This year, it's up 3%. So this year, it's 1.761. Corporate income tax, last year, we took in 529 billion. And then you start to look at customs duties. Now, this is interesting. And I'm going to say this 2 or 3 times to try to make a point. In the 2024 fiscal year, we took in 77 billion in customs duties. That's tariffs. All right. We estimate this year it's going to be up 146%. But that's 190 billion. That's a lot of money. But 77 minus the 90 or 190? Did I mention next year we're set to borrow about $2.5 trillion is our estimate. CBO, I know, has a number, it's lower, but I will tell you, in this fiscal year, my Joint Economic Committee was more correct than CBO. For borrowing $6.7 billion a day, you can do the math. The step up in customs duties, we might be picking up 3 weeks of borrowing. And this is my frustration. What happens when our brothers and sisters get in front of televisions or put out things and say stories, well, DOGE is going to pay for everything. Well, the customs duties, the tariffs are going to pay for everything. And then some of us actually have to try to make the math actually work. The voters are much smarter than we ever give them credit for. Hell, I think they're much smarter than we are. Maybe we can tell them the truth. We got a problem. Interest and healthcare costs are consuming this society, consuming this government. And you start to take a look at the net outlays. And you start to see, well, Social Security taxes, oh, they're up, they're up, 8.3% over last year. Spending on, this is spending, this is outlays. So spending on Social Security went up 8.3% over last year, baby boomers. And we actually have an unusual thing happening. If you take a look at the Social Security Actuary Report, a lot of our brothers and sisters are choosing to retire at 62, which actually is hurting productivity because many of these folks are very productive workers, but they're fearful saying, well, in 2032, I get a 24% cut. I'm going to take my money now. Is another reason we should fix that cliff. But you're not allowed to actually talk about it because the other side will run attack ads beating the crap out of you in the next election because you dare talk about the morality of actually fixing these things. Look, you know, right now, I'm in a 50-50 district. There's someone over at the DCCC taking clips saying, he said the word Social Security, we got our attack ad. And then you wonder why no one here will work on it. The point on the net outlays is last year we spent $7.746 trillion. This year we're going to spend $7.148 trillion. Okay. And remember, the 2025 is an estimate because I still have a couple weeks. I got to figure, and there's always weird timing effects at the end of the year where we roll a bill over into the next fiscal year. But what happens when our total receipts? We're going to take in $5,254 billion, spend $7,148 billion. The point there is we're spending a hell of a lot more money than we're taking in. And a bunch of the money is not stuff you can touch. It's the Social Security and what goes into the Medicare Part A trust fund. Sorry, let's go down to geekdom. On your FICA tax, your payroll tax, a portion of that is Medicare, Social Security, unemployment, other things. That tax only covers about 38% of Medicare. Other portion of Medicare, it can be 10 to 15% you pay in co-pays if you're in traditional Medicare. And the rest comes right out of the general fund. That's why the fact that in the next 7 years, Medicare goes from $1 trillion to spend this year to $2 trillion in 7 years. It's demographics and healthcare inflation. But this gap from here to here is the annual deficit. 7.3% of the entire economy. And for those who want to say, well, it's the legislation from, no, this was structural. This is what we were built on. And the increase in spending, once again, discretionary, what we talk about, what we work on, keeps getting smaller. Defense as a percentage has been going down from years. Years ago, defense was number one. Now, if you actually, the way you stack it, it's either number 4 or number 5 in our spending. Yet, if you go home and tell people that, what continues to shock me is how many people, well, if you just did this, and you show them the math and saying, okay, you just covered about 30 minutes of borrowing. And they look at you angrily because my belief is the political class for so long hasn't told the truth. So let's go on our truth binge. And anyone I'm making unhappy, grab your phone, grab your computer, go hit doge.gov. It's right there. It's live right now. You can go look it up. I actually really, really, really support using technology to crawl through every ounce of this government. In the NDAA, for year after year after year, and I got it attached this year, the ability to use AI to audit the Pentagon. Because remember, the Pentagon's now gone 8 or 9 years. It is unauditable, is the term. It has not been audited. We don't even know the stuff we own. But on the Doge's own website at this moment, they say they found $206 billion. Now, the reality, only a fraction of that has actually been executed by us in Congress or the actual White House. But if we're going to borrow $2.3, $2.4, $2.5 trillion next year, 8%? And that's if you got the face on it. And you know, we've all seen the articles. They've only been able to actually execute on a fraction of this. But yet, I can show you some of our colleagues who run around and say things, well, with Doge and the tech and the customs duties, we're going to be fine. So Schweikert, shut up. We don't have to tell people how much trouble we're in. Don't go and mention that the Social Security Trust Fund is gone in 7 years and they're taking a 24% cut. Don't tell anyone that the Medicare Trust Fund is gone in 7 years and their hospital probably is going bankrupt. Yay. This is what we got elected to do. And yet, 2025, total receipts. Receipts are tax collections. It's just Ways and Means speak. We don't call them taxes, we call them receipts. For this year, we gained 3.7% of our total receipts from customs duties. Wonderful. Now we can have a whole other presentation debate of its effect on the economy, who actually pays it. Is it paid by the consumer, the shipper? Fine, we'll have the intellectual debate later. But it's more revenues, receipts coming in. Our best guess is, if we give the full faith of what we believe, $300 billion next year. 5.6% on top of all the additional tax collections. It's helpful. You know, borrowing in many ways is a tax. It's a tax paid for in the future, probably by our kids. It's a tax paid for with interest. But stop pretending we've solved the problem. And here's where it gets really uncomfortable once again. This is sort of the Social Security chart, and the point was trust fund balance. We peaked about 2001, 2002. Baby boomers were in their peak of their earning years. But here, it's gone. And I need to step on this. If you are someone out there and you go, well, they stole the Social Security money. No, they didn't. It was loaned to the Treasury. Now, there's some great articles. If you go back to the original design of Social Security, they thought they'd have a certain amount of money. They would loan it for building bridges and dams and all sorts of things and get yield. But they loan it to the Treasury, and the Treasury pays actually a fairly decent interest rate back. We pay the interest, our Treasury pays the interest back to the Social Security Trust Fund twice a year. That's why there's certain months where there's this sudden big spike of interest payments that are credited to the Social Security account. But the chart is the chart. About halfway through 2032, so 7 years from now, the trust fund's gone. Now here's the irony of our budgeting. When we talk about future debts and deficits, CBO is instructed to act like we just keep spending the money. But the actual Social Security law says you got to cut benefits. And the law, if you follow the Social Security law, that's a 24% cut. So reality, about halfway through 2032, be prepared to have your check cut by 24%. And our calculation is a few months later, we double poverty of seniors in America. You know, we already, the fastest growing homeless population are baby boomers right now. And you look at this chart, look, I just threw this one on. It's a little more complicated than I wanted to do tonight. But this is actually a chart showing the increases in spending. And one of the reasons I brought this chart is trying to help folks understand we are all so acculturated around here. Well, Social Security is always going to be the biggest spend. Except when you get in the out years, I accept some of this is 20-some years from now, 25 years from now. Actually, healthcare costs. But this is something we could actually have a miracle in changing. I've come behind this mic over and 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 over, said, look, we are on the cusp of miracles. A couple weeks ago, I went to New Hampshire to a lab there where they were growing undifferentiated islet cells. Apparently, islet cells that don't need anti-rejection drugs to get bodies to be able to start making their own insulin again. There's crazy ideas. Mr. Speaker, okay, can we do a thought experiment? And I'm probably going to get beaten up for this. This is a thought experiment, so give me some leeway on it. But I'm trying to help our brothers and sisters and anyone crazy enough to watch this to think. So, we've turned healthcare into a financing debate. The ACA, Obamacare, was a financing bill. It's who gets subsidized, who has to pay, mostly borrowed money. The Republican alternative was a financing bill, a little better actuarial curve, but it was a financing bill. Medicare for All is a financing bill. I'm begging us, could we have a revolutionary thought between Democrats and Republicans, maybe if we actually talk about what we pay and what we get for what we pay. So the debate is right now, a number of the expanded subsidies on the ACA expire. Now, if there's parts of the country, high medical costs, high income, you can make up to $600,000 a year and get $4,000 plus in subsidies paid to the insurance company. Now, here's the perversity. These subsidies, the $33 billion it would take for 1 year, $40 billion if you made it permanent, are paid to insurance companies. So, Mr. Speaker, here's just a crazy thought experiment. Ozempic goes off patent in Canada in January. States like Florida and Colorado already have gotten the FDA to approve reimportation. We actually have a chart that's looking at the potential of generic manufacturers producing it from $60 to $120 a month. What would happen? This is a crazy, crazy, crazy thought. We know Milken researchers a couple years ago said obesity is 47% of U.S. healthcare. Diabetes is 33% of U.S. healthcare. It is 31% of Medicare. How many lives are being lost right now because of multi-chronic conditions? Because what would happen if you took a portion of that money and said, for our brothers and sisters who are in Medicaid, Indian Health Services, VA, other government subsidized programs, we actually said, screw it. We're going to allow the reimportation. We're going to buy it. It's off patent. We can actually get an incredible deal. Yay! What would the actual cost of health care, what would be the health statistics of our brothers and sisters? What would the effect on labor force participation, family formation, all the other crazy things we've seen in this data? What would it look like a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now? That's actually the thought experiment. Do we want to hand $33 billion of subsidy to insurance companies, or do we want to affect the actual cost of delivering services and maybe have our brothers and sisters live healthier and longer? Why can't we think this way? Is that Republican or Democrat? I would argue it's just moral. It's trying to be creative with the limited resources we have, because every dollar of that is borrowed. Why wouldn't you want a society that's actually getting healthier? I'm just trying to come up with solutions. And there'll be an army of lobbyists outside my office tomorrow beating the crap out of me because it turns out sick people are a business model. It's cruel to say that. It's just really cruel to say that. We've got to change it. The morality of cures, the morality of, and also really good economics. So look, two last boards. I want to make a point, and we updated this as of a couple hours ago. We're actually remarkably lucky. Because there's other industrialized countries that the debt is starting to scare the hell out of bond markets, a bunch of our longer term, our 10 years and out, actually have been operating very efficient. But does it bother anyone that France, right here, France, they just took down their government because they were trying to do some fiscal consolidation. They won't let them deal with their debt, but they can sell a bond for about 50 basis points cheaper than we can. Greece, actually about about 70 basis points cheaper than, Greece has a better, when they take a 10-year bond to market, it's substantially lower interest rate than the United States. All these countries here have a better credit You look at the credit rating of what people are willing to buy the debt for than the United States. You realize there's 18 states that actually have a better credit rating than the federal government. I don't know other ways. I keep struggling to find ways to get folks to take this seriously. And once again, Mr. Speaker, the hallways will be full of people knocking on our doors saying, but we want more money. They don't show up to say, hey, we have an idea how to do it better, faster, cheaper, and we want a free market. We believe in creative destruction. Look, I never liked the CHIPS Act because direct cash subsidies, often subsidizing last generation technology, leads to what's going on right now. So should Intel give up 10% of its ownership, what would happen if Intel were forced to break up? You might end up with 4 or 5 creative, efficient, cutting-edge companies that this one's doing design, this one's doing. Do you remember your high school economics class? Creative destruction is what brings you to that next level of productivity, which raises wages. For working people in my district, if you're not making about 27, 28% more than the first year of the Biden administration, you are poor today. We had some of the highest inflation. I think at the end we came in number 2. Yet I see some numbers in Arizona that are making me very nervous on the growth of unemployment, the stagnation of wages. There are ways to make this another American century. First thing we have to do is tell the truth. You have a country that's borrowing $70,000, $72,000 a second. How long do you think we can keep that up? Yet if we would get our tax system, our regulatory system, and legalize once again creativity, legalize the productivity, instead of the barrier after barrier after barrier. Those barriers may be great politics. We get help. They show up at our fundraisers and help us. Maybe you can get a union to vote for you. But it's crap economics. Mr. Speaker, look, I'm incredibly optimistic of the future. I am 63. My wife is 63. I've said this a few times and people think I'm insane. I have a 3-year-old we've adopted. We have a 9-year-old we've adopted. We are the luckiest family on earth. My little boy, when he's about 21, 22 years old, every tax in America needs to be doubled just to maintain baseline services. My kids will be part of the first generation to be poor because of our unwillingness to tell the truth. Is that the America? Is that the America we aspire to? We're better than this. And I'm sick and tired of having the leadership and others say, but David, we'll do it after the next election. Do you know, guess what? There's always another election. I believe the American people would reward us to demonstrate we told them the truth and we tried to do hard things and we saved the future, because that future is coming very fast. With that, I yield back, Mr. Speaker.